The operations room was quiet, lit by the glow of screens showing satellite feeds and tactical overlays. A group of officers gathered around the main table, focused on an incoming report. Outside the reinforced glass doors, the muffled sounds of training drills echoed through the corridor, until a sharp, startled cry broke through. Everyone's head turned. Down the hall, 3 junior sailors were crowding a woman against the wall, a civilian-looking woman, dressed in a simple gray hoodie and cargo pants, her hair tied back in a no-nonsense knot. She carried no rank, no ID badge visible. One of the men muttered something under his breath as he shoved past her. She didn't react. The second brushed her shoulder hard. The third, trying to impress the others, made a cruel joke, and when she turned to walk away, his elbow caught her square in the face. The corridor went dead silent. She didn't fall. She didn't even flinch long. She straightened slowly, blood trickling from her nose, eyes locked on the man who'd hit her. For a moment, the entire base seemed to hold its breath. Her stare, calm, level, dangerous, was unlike anything those men had ever seen. A Marine sergeant nearby barked, "What the hell's going on here?" and grabbed his radio, but before he could call it in, the double doors to the operations room hissed open. The woman stepped inside, ignoring the chaos behind her. "Ma'am, you can't be in here," said the duty officer, moving toward her. She said nothing. Instead, she reached into her pocket, produced a small, black access chip, and placed it on the security scanner. The device chirped once, then flashed red access, classified override. Every monitor in the room froze. A second later, the entire operations system began to reboot, the central screen flickering as a classified personnel file loaded automatically. Bold red letters filled the display. Naval Special Warfare Command, SEAL Team 9 operative status, active. Clearance. Omega Black. A headshot appeared. It was her. The officers stood frozen. The same sailors who had just assaulted her were being hauled in by the sergeant, their faces pale. The youngest one stammered, Ma'am, I didn't." She finally spoke, her voice calm but edged with iron. "You didn't know. That's the problem with this place." The room stayed silent as the commanding officer entered, eyes darting from the glowing screen to her bruised face. He saluted sharply. "Commander Reyes, we didn't expect you back from deployment." She looked past him toward the live feed still flashing red, her voice cool and steady. "I wasn't supposed to be," she said. "But I heard my team was being disrespected." Every man in the room stood at attention. The classified file blinked once more before fading to black. The base would never forget the day they elbowed a Navy SEAL commander in the face. The silence that followed was heavier than gunfire. No one dared move as Commander Reyes stood at the center of the ops room, blood drying beneath her nose, her expression unreadable. The 3 sailors who had attacked her were lined up against the wall, trembling. The commanding officer, Captain Ward, dismissed everyone except his core command staff. When the door sealed shut, he turned to her quietly. "Commander, I'll have them charged immediately." Assaulting an officer. She raised a hand. "No," she interrupted, "not yet." Her voice was calm, but the steel underneath it carried weight. She approached the nearest console and tapped into the classified feed still blinking from her file. The screen shifted from her record to a live satellite view of a conflict zone, one she wasn't supposed to be anywhere near anymore. The room held its breath again. "This," she said, pointing to the screen, "is why I came back." The feed zoomed in, revealing a convoy pinned down under heavy fire. Her old SEAL team, Team 9, the very same men who had been told she'd been killed in action 3 months ago. The tracking data showed their distress beacon, active and moving erratically. Ward's voice faltered. "You're supposed to be deceased." Reyes gave a faint smirk. "Officially, that's how command wanted it. Deep cover, Operation Riptide, but someone leaked our position. My team's extraction got compromised. I came back to find out who." The officers exchanged uneasy looks. No one dared speak. The air buzzed with the hum of servers and the unspoken tension of hierarchy. Finally, she turned toward the 3 young sailors. They looked like they wished the ground would swallow them. "You 3 think this base is about rank, badges, and attitude," she said, stepping closer, "but out there, it's about survival. The people you mock are the ones who'd take a bullet for you without asking who you are." Her gaze softened, barely. "You're lucky I'm giving you a second chance to learn that." She turned back to the captain. "I need a Blackhawk on standby, full loadout, encrypted comms. And those files on Operation Riptide, I want every access log from the last 6 months." Ward hesitated only a second before replying, "Yes, ma'am." Within minutes, the entire ops room sprang into motion. Officers relayed orders, data flickered across screens, and the atmosphere shifted from shame to purpose. As Reyes strode out, the sailors she'd confronted stood frozen at attention. She paused in front of them, voice low but sharp. "Next time you see someone who doesn't fit your idea of authority, remember this moment." The corridor lights reflected off the scar along her jaw as she walked away, leaving behind a room full of silent respect, and a base that had just learned the difference between command by title and command by presence. Outside, the rotor blades of a Blackhawk began to spin up. Commander Reyes was going back to finish what she'd started,